Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm back with the Edith Holden and I'm back with the packaging. So we're going to do some little fun stuff with windows today. So I'll just show you what I've got. This was part of some kind of, I think it was just something I got in the mail. And this like slid out to reveal something in the window. It was something like that. Well, I decided to turn up the bottom of it to make it a more manageable size to create a pocket. And then I thought we've got, this fun window in the front to play with. And because we've got the thumb notch already, it could be a big pocket for one of the folios that I'm doing. So that's that one. And this one was part of a cake came in it. So I've just sort of flipped it back to front. And then I left these parts on. So this was part of the box. I've left these on because they kind of look like you're opening them up to the window. They've been in my stash for a while, so I thought we would get those used today. And then I've also got the Edith Holden text, so I've still got lots of sheets left. But I've also got some vellum left over from when I did the Your Creative Studio project. I had a bunch left over. So yeah, I thought these would be nice to go in the windows. And they have, nice pictures on with all the florals and everything in kind of vintage tones. So I thought matched Edith Holden pretty well. And then I've just got these to the side of me. I'm going to do these after, just to show that I've got more vellum. And I've got all these bunch of like tea-dyed tags. I'm just going to do something with those later, after. Because I imagine that I'll have scraps left over from this vellum, and so I want to get everything used up today. So I think I'm going to start with the easiest one, first of all, which is just this one, very straightforward, boxy window. So I'm just going to just tidy up the window a little bit because it's got, where it's been like die cut, it's got little notches in it. So I just want to get rid of those. And I'm not taking anything off from the size of it because obviously this is very much in the centre. So it is a big pocket, but it's for a folio, so I think it will be okay. And so I am thinking to use the text on the back panel. And to be honest, I thought that I would just kind of tear around the window. But I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that or whether I should cut around it. Okay, I'm kind of feeling brave. So I'm just going to go for it and kind of just see what happens. So I'm just holding it up where I know the window is. And I'm just going to try my hardest. She says. I think I'm just going to have to poke the scissors through because I cannot tear that through. There we go. And then I should be able then just to tear it up. So I'm just sort of holding it in front and I'm just looking for where that window is. I'm sure there are probably, oh actually I can do it this way. That'll be easier. That'll be easier. Okay, right, turn it around so I can see the window. And then I'm just going to hold it there and I'm just going to very carefully tear. I don't want it to be neat as a pin, you see. So I'm just going to start tearing round and I'm staying inside the window because obviously I don't want to go too far across. And then anything more, if I hold it in the right place, anything more I can just come in like so. I just thought this would be a little bit more interesting than just cutting around it. But, time will tell. It's playtime today. So that is very much what I'm doing. There we go. Let's just sort of see how that's looking. Yeah, I think with a little bit of inking. So this was what I was going to have behind it. So let's just pretend we'll have it there. And then obviously when we put something into the pocket, you'll just see a slither of it here. So I think I'm happy, but I just want to just give this a little bit of a tidy in places. I've done sort of torn window things before, but I haven't done it quite in this way. I actually did something with junk mail envelopes for the Edith Holden series when I was last working with her images, her books. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a fiddle. Okay, right. Didn't really want a huge amount tearing. I just wanted to... Right, I've not got any ink because this is a new dauber, so a new sponge rather. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a ink. Hopefully I don't make it too dark. I'm using the tea-dyed ink, which does go nicely with the images. As I said, if you wanted it to be, you know, neat and everything, then you could just cut around whatever window you've got. Whoops, throwing things everywhere. But as I said, I just sort of fancied something a bit different this time. There we go. Got that a little bit dark in places, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and just glue this piece down. So probably need to do a bunch of filling up of glue bottles. Things are struggling to come out today. So I'm just going to get that all along there. Easy peasy today, as it has been. Well, yeah, I like to keep things easy, don't I? So I'm just going to have that there. There we go. And then we can very simply just cut around the whole thing. So yeah, I appreciate the torn look won't be to everyone's cup of tea. I kind of wish I hadn't inked it a little bit. I kind of wish that maybe I had, you know, just let it sort of blend in a bit more. I think that probably would have been a better look, but you know what, we don't know these things until we try them, and you can learn from my learnings as I, you know, try these things and change my mind about things. So that's that. And then whilst I'm here, I'm just going to put that thumb notch back in. I'm not going to bother trying to cut around it because it'd be a bit tricky. So I'm just going to use this. Oops. There we go. Lovely. I don't need that. Okay, so that's that. And then with the vellum, just want to position it, and I'm just going to look to see what I want to have in the window. Thinking more of these pink blossoms like that. Okie dokie. So because I want to use some of this vellum for leftovers, I don't want to waste it. I'm just going to just cut into that because that will be used on a tag. And then I'm just going to cut this bit off as well. Again, that can be used for something else. Such nice vellum, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to waste it. And then I'm just going to take off that top because I don't want to see the green through the window. So this will just help me position it. So just a little bit of vellum. And then, as I say, I want these pink flowers like so. Right then, so I'm going to use the art glitter glue for this. And obviously I do have to get, you know, a fair amount of glue. But because this is going to be a pocket, just to be absolutely sure that nothing curls up and gets in the way, I'm also in a place where I can put some tape over the edges of the vellum, which I'll do as well. So just aiming for those nice purple flowers, pink flowers. I think I have it about there. Yeah, lovely. Okie dokie. So just getting my, I use this tape a lot. It's called Framer's tape. It's very strong. So I use it for like, you know, when I want to strengthen spines and things. But also it is very, very sticky. So it does a good job for stuff like this where, you know, you don't want things curling up and getting in the way. I just think I don't want to run the risk, especially being vellum as well. It can, hopefully, I might have to go up a little bit with that one and then just recut the divot if it will let me. That'll do. There we go. So now when we're sliding things in and out of the pocket, nothing can possibly get in the way of that. Okay, so that's that step done. Okay, and then yeah, I wanted this for the bottom. I know this goes that way, picture wise, but it's the best picture I had as a scrap, because again, I do want to try and use up these scraps. It's the best one I had for, you know, it doesn't really matter which way it goes as such, because we're gonna, you know, decorate these things up anyway. So again, just keeping it really easy today, and just going to use the light again. So I'm just holding it up. I think we can come down a bit. That is it. Just trying to get the best of as much of those flowers as I can, really. Here we are. And then just going to cut around this. So yeah, nothing, I'm not doing anything particularly fancy with the Edith Holden images, but I am trying my hardest to use, you know, every bit of them that I can, especially in the case of where I've got all of these, you know, scraps and leftovers from last time. And it's good to also use the packaging. Yeah, obviously need to cut around there as well. Silly me. I suppose I could have folded it over actually. Maybe that would have been better, but that's that. And then because this just wants neatening up, sorry, that was very tough packaging. Just checking that it was straight. There we are. Okie dokie. So obviously I've got a little bit of down there where the scrap didn't quite meet. So I've just got my tray of bits and bobs all next to me, and I was just having a little look, and I thought if we go ahead and put a large floral down there, then obviously that will cover up some of that very deep inking that I did, and then of course the vellum just becomes, you know, part of the picture as opposed to just this random thing that I've put there. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one, and whilst I had you on pause I just filled up my glue as well, which yeah, you have to go slow and steady, otherwise it goes absolutely everywhere. I just fill up these little bottles with my art glitter glue, because, you know, I find that these allow me to be, you know, quite precise about things, but yeah, decanting the glue into them is needs a steady hand. So yeah, but you know, that's done now. So I'm just positioning that. There we go. That's it. Just make sure all those little leaves are down. Leaves. Yeah, I always forget when I'm making something, I always forget when it comes to embellishing how that can completely change something. So yeah, never write something off until you've actually decorated it. Okay, so I'm just going to run some glue along these two edges. I just wanted to wait until I'd, you know, popped that floral in the pocket, so to speak. There we go. But you know, it's always a joy to get on and use packaging and, you know, things like that. Always, always. So, just going to use my trusty crochet. I just find it's the easiest and fastest way to finish off a pocket nicely. I just felt a leaf come up under my hand, so I might need to go in with a bit of more glue. There we go. Yeah, I hope you've got you in screen the whole time. I keep bringing things to me. You know, I keep bringing in, and I think I've got the camera shifted backwards on my desk slightly more than usual. So if I do keep bringing things into my elbows, then yeah, sorry about that. But there we go. And then I've just got a couple of other bits and bobs on my desk, but I still do have this tray because I was thinking I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, there we go, use this label, just from one of the number kits that I've got, because I thought, just thought that finished it off nicely without covering up too much of the flowers behind. So these are the coordinates of where she's finding these specimens that will eventually be in the pocket. That's my idea anyway. So I think that will just keep that nice and simple, like so. Lovely. Oh, and then when I had you on pause, I just inked around the whole lot. Yeah, I'm loving how that's looking. See, I originally pulled out these stamps and things, but I kind of don't think it needs anything more. And then of course I pulled out some butterflies as well. But yeah, I'm actually really liking that all together, she says, as she still tests whether she wants a butterfly or not. I mean, it could have a butterfly, but it's not really adding anything. So I'm going to leave it for that one. Obviously, when I come to use it, I might very well decorate it up more, but I'm pretty happy with that. So that's all down nicely with the vellum. And of course, it makes a really nice, I love the sound of vellum. So of course, when you slide something into the pocket, I don't know what I'm putting in the pocket yet, but let's just pretend. Then you'll sort of see a glimmer of it behind. But yeah, I have to find the right thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but something big. It can certainly fit a large journal card in there. And then of course we've got the pocket at the front for some little specimens or tickets or something to do with her finding these flowers or whatever. That's the idea. So that's that one. So I've now got this chocolate box, and it's the same sort of idea really, where I'm thinking to have, yes, I was thinking to have these poppies be the window decoration. So I'm just going to leave that to one side because first of all, I want to use the text again. I'm just thinking it's the best thing to go with to cover the back panel. So I'm going to go ahead and just chop it down so it fits in my trimmer. Right. Okay, I just did the washi. I know it's an autumnal one, but you won't see hardly any of it. And the vellum has a little bit of orange in anyway, so I thought that would be just fine. Okay, so I am going to put the panels in. Obviously, I need to cut around the circle, but I'll do that from the back side of it, and then we can add the vellum. So it'll be a bit different from the first one that we did. but it's just because it's where it's a circle. I don't want to tear around a circle. I think that will be a bit trickier. And also I quite like the circle as well. I think that's going to be, you know, interesting in the middle, so I'd like to keep that. Just making sure that I'm not over the creases of the folds, these things. Oh my goodness me. Oh, I am a plonker. Look at me, I'm putting glue all over my desk because I didn't even think about the window, did I? I bet you were all screaming at me. I really do the daftest things. I really do. A few of you have said that you like that I laugh at myself. Honestly, I have to because I do such silly things. I really do. I can be a right Wally. But anyway, let's let's go forwards with this these panels. Right. Go with that one. I need to cut the other one the other side, but that's fine. So I'm going to just, again, I'm just finding where those grooves are. I don't want to go over them because I don't want to affect how this piece, you know, opens and closes kind of thing. So that's that. Oh, really me. Okay, and then I'm just going to just cut around the packaging. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. I'm glad actually I've kept that beehive there. So that'll be a nice scrap that I want to keep for something. Just got a little bit of packaging, just has a little bit of a shape to it, so I want to keep that because I think it's interesting. Half the fun of us using packaging is you get different shaped things, and you know, I wouldn't want to make something like this out of paper myself, so that's it. So yeah, those will want burnishing down a bit better, but the main thing is I'm not in the way. Okay, and then I just want to, I realise I have to cut this on the other side so I can bunch it up against the groove like that. Okay, and then same again. So yeah, lots of matting, but I think this will make some interesting pieces. Hoping the video won't be too long, but I imagine it will be a little bit on the long side because, you know, there are a few steps involved really. That's that, lovely. Okay, and then you guessed it, just cut around here. I think I'm going to do something to do with some kind of policy closure on the front, you know, with some circles and some string or something. That's what I'm thinking I will do. But again, it's sort of, I can think so many steps ahead, but then I like to see things decorated before I make certain decisions. Just works better for me. I know some people are very good at thinking, you know, lots and lots of steps ahead, but it is not me. So I'm just going to give those burnish down whilst I'm here, because where we've added the washi, it's just made those stronger, so they want to whoops, they want to stick up. But as I said, once we've got it closed and trained down in a book, that will help as well. Okay. All right. Okay, so moment of truth. We now have to cut around this circle, which we glued. No, it's all right. I won't hold you responsible. It was all me. All me. I glued it. So I'm just sort of doing this because I think it will make it a bit easier being a circle. And these are sharp Tim Holtz scissors. So for this type of thing, they're ideal because you can, you know, stab right the way through that paper, nice and easy. So we've got like a wheel thing going on. I'm okay if it comes out a little bit homemade looking because That's part of the fun of all this. So I'm just going to come around here with my scissors, obviously, and it'll probably take me a minute or two. I'm just sort of going slowly because I don't want to cut into the packaging, and you know, I want it to look vaguely like a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect at all for me. It's not what I'm interested in. So I'll probably pause here because I might be a minute or two, as I say. There we are. I think that's pretty good going. So I think I'm in a position now where we can go ahead and pop the vellum in there. Again, I want to save these little offcuts, so grab that, and I think we're going about there. So again, I'm going to glue it down. I don't think the gluing, if I'm completely honest, is doing a hell of a lot. Is doing, you know, yeah, I don't think it's doing much. But I'd rather glue it to say that I've done that than not, and you know, regret it later. So, but as I said, I definitely think the tape is the best thing to use. I suppose the glue just kind of holds it in place whilst I get to the tape, really. And yeah, as I said, I'm doing this because I want this to be a pocket that you slide things down. Right, so I've got to be careful here. I have a feeling I need this to be thinner because I don't want to go over the window or the creases. I don't want to make them any stronger than they already are. There we go. So that is my vellum window done. Okie dokie. So yeah, I need to go in with a bit of better gluing, but you get the idea. So next thing is to obviously get this front done. Sorry, I just saw a little bit. I want to neaten that up a bit. But yeah, as I say, I need to get in with the edges gluing wise. So I thought to use a picture on the front, mainly because I have actually started to run out of the, you know, the nice scripty calligraphy text. I still have lots of the typed text pages, but calligraphy wise, I've definitely started to get a bit low now. So I thought this picture, because where that vellum has a bit of orange in there, so does these flowers. So I'm not going to get the butterfly in, and obviously I'm just holding it up to the light to see where I'll be cutting and everything. Now obviously I want this to go across the two panels, so I genuinely think the easiest thing, other than to cut it directly in half, but I don't want to do that because I don't know how wide these panels are. I don't really want to risk that. So I'm going to do it the cheats way, the easy way. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this first panel. And again, I'll butt it up. So this is the... Oh, yes, I've got it the right way around. I was going to say I was holding it upside down. So I'm going to butt it up against the crease. As I say, I'm aiming for those orange flowers. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut around this. And I'm going to cut as neatly as I can, because obviously I want to use this piece on the other side. to continue the picture. That's what I'm aiming for. Fingers crossed it all works out. Sure it will. Okay, so that's the one side. So yeah, obviously I've got this going on, so I might need to have a think about what I'm going to do with that. I didn't even think about packaging showing through, but that's okay. And then, yeah, we want to do the same again. This time I'm going to hold it in place, and I'm just going to see where... I'm trying to think what to do. Obviously I don't want to risk cutting into this, but I don't want to risk cutting this too short. So I think, to save me the bother, I'm just going to do the exact same thing, just cut around it. As I said, I'm sure there are smarter ways to do these things, but I'd rather do that. And then, yeah, I need to have a think about what I'm going to put up the edge. I could put some like crochet or something maybe. Okay, so I'm just going to, just positioning that, because obviously I want the picture to continue, so we need sliding up and across. That's it. Obviously you need a slidey glue, something that gives you the time to decide where you want things. See, as I said, I'm sure there's probably better ways to do this, but I don't like measuring. I find it takes a long time, and then even when, you know, I really try so hard to measure, and I still end up getting things in the wrong place or the wrong size, or I have no idea what happens, but me and numbers do not go. So when I started realising that, I just thought, you know what, I just don't want the bother anymore. Having to measure things. So I just like to cut around and be done with it. Just be careful you don't cut into your flap. That's all I'll say. Alright, so that's that. The picture doesn't match up perfectly, but that's okay. I'm sure I can fix something up with this when we come to do the decorating. So let me have a little bit of a think. Like, for example, so I have this black thing to cover up here. Obviously it's black along the edge as well though, so I don't know if I should be like wrapping something around it. Maybe. Could use washi. I don't know if I should be putting something down the middle. Okay, so I have a plan. I've got a scrap of the Edith Holden text, and I'm just going to put that over the side there to cover the black packaging. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'm going to use crochet in the middle and then add that policy closure that I talked about. Obviously it's not ideal that I'm doing this, not originally part of the plan, but I want to be able to show these things where, you know, just because we do something not in the way that we originally planned and stuff, there's still ways always to work around things and still turn it into something that's going to look, you know, really nice. Just snip that off. There we go. I only inked that text a teensy bit so that it more blends into the background. And obviously it doesn't go the whole way, mainly because my scrap wasn't big enough, but also these two ends were washied anyway, so I thought now it looks more like I'm not trying to cover something up, I'm just adding some decoration. And then this one I'm going to have be, again I'm just trying to cover up that black, so I'm going to have it be there. An even smaller scrap, but it's because I didn't want to cover up the text at the bottom as well. So, but I think it will pay off. I think it will be fine. So that goes there-ish. As I say, when we use packaging and stuff, sometimes we forget that the packaging can show through, especially if you make things in the way that I do. But it's fine. So yeah, I think that looks just fine. I think it looks like it was meant to be like that. So let's hope anyway. Let's hope anyway. And then I was thinking, I quite liked having this peep over, so when you open it up you get this nice border down there, you see. So I'm thinking I may as well do that. And then that covers up the fact that unfortunately, despite my best efforts, I could not get that picture to match exactly, but this will hide that, or at least disguise that, whilst also giving it a bit of decoration. There we go. As I say, I want it to peep over the edge like that. I'll cut it off a bit neater in a minute. I just wanted to give it a moment to stick. Where I'm using the art glitter glue, it's not really designed for fabric, but I use it for trims because where the trims have holes in them, I don't like the beacon or the Fabri-Tac shining through the holes when it dries, so the art glitter glue doesn't have that same problem. Shininess, I mean. And then just to match it, I'm going to do the same on this side as well. As I say, I just think that finishes it off quite nicely. And as I say, when you have it open like so, you just see that edging peeking over. Very nice. Yeah, cogs are whirring now. But what's next? Okay, so that's that. I mean, now it can go either which way. Slightly prefer it more that way, but I don't think it matters. And then the next thing is I want to get some kind of policy closure on it. So let me just nip that off a bit neater. Yeah, okie dokie. Right, so I need my awl. So I've got these from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I want to say actually it was a freebie. And I thought this would look kind of fun, kind of covering up one of the orange flowers, but no matter. I thought that looked kind of fun as a closure. I think they're supposed to be buttons. It's supposed to be buttons. Something like that. So I've backed those onto some scraps of Edith Holden just to thicken them up a bit. And then I've got 2 circles that are thick card. So I'm going to start by gluing these onto the here, so where I want the closure to be. Oops. These act as almost like reinforcers, hole reinforcers, so you don't end up tearing through the paper kind of thing. Sorry, excuse me, I'm just leaning forward to get those lined up nicely. Just doing it by eye. Yeah, okie dokie. And then we want to punch a hole in the middle here and here. That just helps me see where I'm going. So all the way through now, and then grab my little brad. So yeah, we obviously have to put something on the back here to cover up the brad legs. some kind of, well, it could be anything, you know, if you had like a butterfly or something, that would probably cover it up quite nicely. There are ways to do it. I just need to have a rifle through my box and have a look at what I'm going to do. So yeah, I apologise if this video is a little bit on the long side. I suspect it's very on the long side. I sometimes get a little bit over ambitious over how much I can get done in one video, but once I start, I can't really stop. Okay, so that should be just fine. So we're going to want some string or twine or something. So let's go with I'm going with gold. I wanted something more like a beige, but I don't have anything, and I am on a shopping ban, sorry. So this will have to do. So I'm just tying a knot around the back there, and then just tying a double knot, second knot. And then just wrapping that little end out of the way. I like to keep the string long because it just protects it over time from fraying away too much. And then just go around there, and then we can do like a little fun cross effect on here. So I'm going to do a cross, and then just needs to be worked in a little bit because it's obviously a new closure. There we go. And then cross like that, and then I'm just going to do it a little bit longer because I'm thinking I might thread a little bead or charm onto the bottom of there. Okay, right. We are getting there. So let's just open that up a second. Okay, so inside I need to do a little bit of extra gluing just in places, and then yeah, we obviously need to cover up these legs with something. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with a label on one side and a floral on the other because I don't want to take away from the pretty vellum. So I thought this will be just fine. As I say, it's just to cover up those legs. So I've got that kind of in the middle. And then this one I've not inked because I want it to blend in. And it gets one of these little florals used up because you don't often get a chance to use the little florals. And I think I'll have to call that a day. I don't know if I'll add any more decoration to them. This one's got a little butterfly on it as well. But yeah, that just hides those brad legs. You'd never know they're there. Well, unless you touch it, of course. And that is that. That is the second window pocket. So as I said, once we have something go into the background, so into the pocket, that's what you get. Ah, good. Okay, so that is those packaging and bits and bobs used up. So I hope you've enjoyed following along, seeing these window pockets come together. As I said, I'm keeping that long in case I add a charm or beads or something. There's the other one. Here it is. There we go. So that's those two, both made from packaging, both using vellum, both using window packaging. So I hope that's been interesting to see, you know, how I've gone about doing those. As I said, I've got vellum left over, so all I'm going to do with these, and yeah, because it's taken me so long to get to where we are, I'm really just going to cover up these tea-dyed tags with them somehow. I'm going to have like a bit of a fiddle around with them. And then probably just, you know, a word or a label, and then that's going to be some tags made up as well, and then I'll probably sew around those so that the vellum, you know, doesn't stick up or anything. So that is that. I'm really sorry if the video was a bit on the long side, but there was, you know, a few steps involved in these. But, you know, that's the case with sometimes with the packaging, if we're doing unique things with them and doing a lot of matting and everything. it sort of does turn into a bit of a longer video, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed seeing those come together. Thanks so much for joining me, and yeah, I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye bye for now.